complete that, and then we will start the second session. So where we were discussing about what and need and scope of online course, and we have discussed about what and why. I'm just keeping this activity, keeping the time in view. So advantages and disadvantages, we have spoken more about advantages in the morning, right? We talked about what is the advantages, which is again put in a point on the left side. So if we see the disadvantages, surely for anybody to do online course, there is a basic digital literacy required. So when we started Nishtha, many people didn't participate, not because they can't, not because they do not know how to install a Diksha app in the mobile, how to log in into the course, what is credential, basic things teachers didn't know. Because of which there were a lot of people who didn't join. Even today, sometimes when we ask people like why you didn't participate in discussion forum, it is there. The students also doesn't participate because they do not know what is the concept of discussion forum, what is to be done there. So it is like there are many people. Because of the lack of digital literacy, these online courses are also not progressing properly, or it is not effective. So digital literacy becomes one of the stopper, like for it's a barrier for the thing. Second is the technical issues. How far all our schools have technology, all our schools have infrastructure, but every time whether the functionality is good or bad. Sometimes we have network, but most of the time, like if I tell all of you to use only the mobile, all have digital device in your hand. Mobile is there, you have internet connection in your mobile, already you have taken data in your mobile, but inside NCIET, your phone sometimes doesn't work. So it is just a technical issue. There are many places where there are people like if we go like when we launched Nishtha also in the Diksha courses, like in the borders of Kargil, the complete internet is not permitted. It's completely barred to even use internet in the areas where there is some safety threats. So those teachers, how do they participate in the training? So ultimately we have to make some alternative arrangement for them. So sometimes the disadvantage is the technical things that comes up where we are not having that competency to resolve immediately, how to handle it. So that is not there. Sometimes our online courses on Diksha, we have problem this year. Last year we had Diksha 1.0. So people have to just go, click on the top, log in, do the course. This academic year, the Diksha 2.0 is launched, a new learning management system is added, and the now courses are running in this year. Last year, by this time, the target I have reached is 11 lakh teachers have completed course by this time, before December. This year, 5 lakh teachers also have not yet reached. Why? Because there is no course. There is sufficient course available. It is in an interesting way. All are there. But the small problem is they change the pattern how to log in. So in the Diksha 2.0, now you have to first go to learning management system, install another app along with Diksha LMS. Once you install, again click on login, it will go to old LMS. Then you log in there, it will come to new LMS. Once you come, you have to search the course, which cannot be searched by code or link. Even if the link is there, you click on the link, it will go only to the login page. Only because of these technical issues, last year 11 lakh by this time has come down to 5 lakh, not even 5 lakh. So technical issue becomes one of the challenge. Technically, if the people doesn't know how to handle it, again it's a problem. And also motivation issue. Today teachers are still doing online course only because 50 hours CPD certificate. That's a motivation. But why we are not able to, we are like we are doing all our efforts to take this 11th, 12th students course. This academic year, 1-to-1 we have trained 45,000 teachers who are working under CBSE. KV, all the 11th and 12th teachers. 10 organization, all the 11th and 12th teachers, 9 to 12th teachers especially. And all the CBSE school, 30,000 CBSE school, private schools are there, 30,000 school, one person is trained, oriented on what is the course available for 11th and 12th. But what is the number if you see every day 30 people are joining? You just think of if one child starts from one course. Over the last 1 month, 30,000 students should have joined. If one student I am calculating, we have got a number increase in 1,000, not even one digit 1,000, 1,000 plus numbers have increased. Because there is no motivation for students. What will a student do by doing this 11th and 12th course? Because school is not recognizing it. The course is not integrated into mark sheet. The course is not like they get a certificate from NCERT, but what will they do with that NCERT certificate? First question comes is, if I pass this exam, will I get the pass mark in my exam, school exam? So there is no motivation factor by this certificate, even though we are putting effort a lot, calling one-to-one, talking to students. Who are joining our 11th, 12th course? All UPSC preparing people. Who is preparing for TET exam.
Time is also limited. Means before that they were giving 8 hours, means 6 hours in the school. Again they are having 6 hours in the school. If these things will come, then the schools are not, so maybe they will able to do. But after that, means they are not giving the proper schedule for that.
No, proper schedule is there. It is given 6 months time for completing 40 hours course. 40 hours in 6 months they need to spare. Even weekend it is 1 hour or 2 hours is something expected. The problem children face is, it is not for me as a child of school, for me anything is mark sheet. Which is not coming in mark sheet, which is not part of the school where I will get some credit for it. I don't mind. Why should I do that? That's a motivation factor. But for all the teachers who are preparing for TET exam, NEET exam students, all the UPSC, civil servant preparation people, all these people are only joining every time. 50,000-60,000 in my course, or across 28 courses in SWAYAM, if we count and see, all are these people. Why they are joining? They have a motivation because the questions are taken from NCERT textbook. So I better get to know from the NCERT textbook writers because they have recorded the videos. So that is a motivation factor. So some or the other way there is a need for motivation factor for an online course, which is always lacking in, not available in all the courses. So that becomes a disadvantage. And time management, the schedule is there, but student doesn't know how to manage that. How many of us have joined online course and not completed? If I tell like to put up like how many first joined? One proper full-fledged course, not this 5 hours. Some full-fledged course I joined, if you see the percentage of passing score, how much we were able to manage time. We run behind, 4 weeks course, 2 hours. We have to really make our own schedule. That's where the self-motivation is expected. So time management becomes like with our regular face-to-face and with this online. For a student, basically when they are in 8 hours in school, for them to manage the remaining time is also difficult. For a teacher also the same. We are into work for totally, when we come, we have our personal life. Where do I really spend time to do my professional courses, or what do I spend? That time management becomes a challenge, and that is where when we prepare the course, all these challenges need to be kept in mind when we prepare the course. And online distractions. Right now in SWAYAM also, when you see the course plays from YouTube, it's integrated from YouTube. We are also putting, when you go to the video, it plays from the YouTube player. Automatically what happens? You will get next video which is not related to your subject. You must be watching module wise properly. When you get out of it and go and you get another prompt of something else which may be interesting for you, you lose the track. Right? When you go in online, when there is at least in class somebody is watching, though your mind goes out in between, sometimes somebody like puts a question or looks at you, you become conscious to relook, come back. But this doesn't happen in the online. Also like special requirements. If you want to have a real skill-based, practical-based courses, sometimes we need special requirements. Even for a normal thing, at least I need proper space to sit and read. Sometimes no, we need that individual space. I cannot sit with 10 people at home and then watch and then learn. That is also becomes a distraction sometimes. So there are certain special requirements that comes up. Like science-based courses, we tell like now you have to do some experiment and check. So you make your material ready for yourself. So what happens when you have to make yourself? Then I lose that track. I lose my interest of where do I go and search, better I skip this. That kind of things happen. And accreditation, as I said, like already, like we don't have that credit possible. So now at least the motivation for teachers courses, you have 50 hours and which is getting recognized into your CPD for that, right? And assessment also. Online, the assessment becomes limited. So if we give, like, there is possibility now, we were making every strict question also. All our courses, you can go to YouTube and see, we release course today evening, tomorrow morning, 10 channels at least will release our question and answer. There is one person who has got millions of subscribers only giving answer to NCERT's Diksha course questions. And he was sending a thank you message to NCERT saying that you have made me a millennium person. And he got golden key, platinum key, all these people get all the keys from YouTube. By only, and one person has floated message and the message came to me saying that I am I'm an authorized person to provide NCERT courses. So please subscribe me, I'll give you details and you can join. And how much he's collecting? 250 rupees to orient you to join NCERT course on Diksha. People are earning like that, right? So when we see like assessment, we are not able to have control. For 20 questions, we prepare questions of 100 questions and put random. Random also, again in 2 weeks, that random also they break and find out all the answers. So very difficult for us. These are the challenges. Still to
बच्चे इतने स्मार्ट है, आरोहण में भी स्कूल के अंदर भी चीटिंग कर लेते हैं। आरोहण के एग्जाम में
अभी AI का पुट द क्वेश्चन इन AI आपका आंसर हो गया, बट कितना आंसर करेक्ट है पता नहीं है. Like no one person did this in our training also. एक ट्रेनिंग का लास्ट पोस्ट असेसमेंट देते हैं ना, बिकॉज 70% इज द पास स्कोर. ही वाज सिटिंग इन द लैब यूजिंग द AI फाइंडिंग द आंसर एंड राइटिंग. ही वुड हैव बेटर रोट बाय हिमसेल्फ. AI यूज करके ज्यादा गलत हो गया. So like that it is there. It's a challenge. Even today we are saying that there is variety. You can put hard, like no long answer, short answer, long answer and short answer. You give a keyword. AI will assess the score, and when we really go and compare the assessment, sometimes there is lot of problems in that. So we need to think of what kind of assessments can be done. So that becomes still remains as a challenge. The last is the teacher training. If you even wanted to do online course, how to integrate that into your, if you take students course, how do you make online courses and your classroom teaching integrated? This is the biggest challenge for teachers. So if KV is developing an online course for students, then you need to make a teacher training plan to teach all the teachers how to use that online course for students as part of your class. Otherwise, no student will be interested to do. This year, we are seeing some teachers in Army Public School, they have made a proper process. Swayam course is there from 11th and 12th. They have just merged. They have made a timetable when which video has to be watched in the course, when assessment should be taken, though they don't have any control over the course. But they have made a schedule and made it available for the students. So that effort is required. Even tomorrow, if we make AVS prepares a course for teachers, then also we need to make a kind of teachers orientation program to orient why they should join the course, how it will be beneficial. It's very, very important for this. So the last part of this training is we were talking about the word called online course. I was saying why we are not using MOOCs. Because online course can have two different approach. One is MOOC and another is POC. Okay. What does MOOC stand for? Massive Online Open Courses. Okay. Massive open. There are three keywords. It is massive, it is online, and it is open. Anybody can join. When we say massive, it's a huge number also can join. When you say it's online, it is understood. But open actually talks for like anybody can join. You can't restrict people. Like that, you may give a pre-requirement that for joining this course you can have, that can be listed, but you cannot stop anybody to join. Like you are making a course for second year students, so they are expected to be a second year student. But what happens even if a 10th standard students come and join, can you stop them? We cannot. We have made Nishta elementary, but we see more of parents joining that course. So what can we do? Secondary teachers have joined the elementary course. We only have to count it because it's available as a MOOC. SPOC is something when you have restrict. It is specific, or we call it as small actually, small private online courses. So basically, like, that's what we are going to do with you. We are going to enroll you in a course, which is a blended approach. We are going to use it, but we are going to enroll you in the learning management system. So now you are only a selected people. We are not keeping it open. It is private for the people whom I know. In your school, if you are going to create online courses, only for the students who are in KV Cantonment 1. There is no restriction that you should always create courses for large school. Maybe your school has a requirement. There is some indisciplinary thing happening in the school frequently. You see that there is a trend that's happening in your school. You wanted to have a course to address this. You want only your students to take. Then it becomes a small private online course. So when you wanted to keep it open, anybody and everyone, it becomes a massive open online course, okay? So basically, when we say MOOCs, when we say there is challenge like of synchronized sessions. So Diksha Mein, like in one course, there are 42 lakh people have joined. How do I keep online sessions interaction with them? Can I have a Zoom call with them? 42 lakh at a time. If you make 42 like a live session, it will be one way only. Like when we did KV orientation of MOOCs, since there were more than 1,000 schools are there, and in 1,000 schools, when you count all the 11th and 12th teachers, there is more number of people. So what we did? Only segmented. One go we did it, and we said like school wise you sit together. So it became more of one way. CBSE, it was through YouTube. It was not even like 35,000 schools, like one person. You Zoom also needs that many people at a time. Joint question, it will be too much of distraction. We don't allow them to talk. So there is a challenge with MOOCs is like live interactions. You have to make it into parts. Maybe you need to make it into groups and call them on different timings so that you can interact with them. This remains as a little bit of challenge. And also if you see that like sometimes you give assignments. You give assignment and 1,000 people also submit. Who will correct that assignments? Right? Now in Diksha Nishta courses, there is an assignment. Every time there is an assignment. To take and everyone submits it. Earlier we didn't have submission option. Now we make a submission option. Next question automatically comes, who will correct it? We implemented 5 years the course in Karnataka for all the teachers of secondary level. So when the assignment has been submitted, again for correcting that assignment, a large group of people have to be trained. And that people also have to do a uniform correction. So again there is a orientation. When orientation also, then it doesn't happen properly. It's like the way, then you give a guideline. So much of effort is required. So whether it is a MOOC or spoke, it decides on what elements you can add, how the interaction we can add, how the engagement we can add, what type of activity is feasible for MOOC, what is feasible for spoke. All this decides the things. These are some of the examples which are given for a large MOOC delivery platforms. Right, Coursera, Udemy and all that are offering MOOC courses. Our portal where we are offering is Swayam and Diksha. We offer MOOCs, right? In Diksha, Swayam doesn't offer spoke. Right now it offers MOOCs. Diksha right now offers only MOOC, but we are preparing the portal to have even spoke. Now we wanted to implement Nishta only in Andaman. Andaman already has only teachers. We have only 5,000 teachers. 5,000 teachers we have to implement. So we don't need to open it only for Andaman. We wanted there a customization. Tamil Nadu wants to have replace one course and say that it will be Tamil typing. It will not be inputting text in English, but we wanted to keep it. That course cannot be suitable for others. If we want a specified customized course, then we should have that feature of spoke. So what now we are bringing in Diksha will be like you will have a code to enter and join the course. All cannot join the course. So we will only tell only this 4 people can join the course. Then we will give a code and they can only join the course. That's how it can be restricted. So the spoke is also coming up in Diksha in future where you will be creating course. So you can have customized courses in the form of spoke for KVS alone. Now you don't want others to do. Only KV teachers. So then it cannot be a massive open online course, right? So it's a private course which is only for, and it's a smaller course only for accountable KVS teachers. In that case, you should think like in Spoke you have more of interaction possible than MOOC. More live interactions can be enabled, more different kind of activities can be enabled which may not be successful in MOOC. So over the next 4 days, we are going to learn all this in smaller things. These are some of the slides we have put to give you kind of a reference to learn. I'm not going to explain this, how this journey has come, how the initially MOOCs have started. So we have just given you a kind of understanding. When we talk about MOOCs, there is two things, XMOOC and CMOOC. This I will stop here, I'll not explain right now because these two I'll be explaining it like thoda later when we start working. Too many theory right now may not, you may not be able to connect this. These two words I'll explain when we will be doing the manuscript. Okay, so with this, I've already explained this, it's just a comparison to close with. So MOOCs and Spoke, this is the difference. Just we can take 1 minute time to go through. In this, the difference is only the first two letters, right? This also we have just put like whatever we discussed, I've just put it at a point. What is the advantages of MOOC and disadvantages of MOOCs? If you see in the whole world, in MOOCs, the passing percentage is less than 10%. The person who completes a course, even in Coursera or any popular MOOCs, the thing is it's 10%, nearly 10%, 8% is what the report says. So that means it is lot of dropouts, right? So there is so much of dropouts because there is no one-to-one interaction. Some country like for example Israel has a 87 or 88% rate, passing rate, which is like not even comparable to the whole world. When there is a research which has analyzed to find out why their online course rate is high, it is because their online course has a different strategy. They are running courses for teachers. Online courses are being run for teachers. What they have done is like they have made groups. Like the way we have, like you are all in Delhi. In Delhi itself, one area, they make a group. And there are centers, like it's a kind of learning centers. So these teachers come together in a week at one place. They sit together and do an online course. They do an online course, but they discuss so that is keeping them each other motivated. So there are strategies to find out. So Swayam, what they have done is, when they are implementing even higher education course, when they are implementing on a large scale, this negative still remains, right? So disadvantage remains. So what they have done, they have made like local chapters. For example, tomorrow when this is going to come in KVS next year from this NCERT course. What is happening? NCERT is running a course. You are all not able to track what even if your students have joined. All your students have joined in your class, but you are not able to see what they are doing. So what we will do is we will make like KV Cantonment 1 as one of the local chapter of the course. So there will be a teacher from the school who will be enabled as a local chapter coordinator. She will be able to see all the students' progress. This person will be able to see and say, at least guide your own students. If somebody is not progressing, you go and talk to them. So that is how the local chapters are functioning in India also, to enable the progress of people. So it's not always a disadvantage. The disadvantages gives us scope to find out a new way. That's all. Okay. So these things we have discussed. So let's close this. So only takeaway from this session is to have an introduction of, end of the session we have to remember some keywords, right? What is online course? There were keywords if you recall.
Interaction, dialogue.
It is, you have to say what is it first. It's a set of instruction for what? For providing an experience to learn through dialogues and interaction, right? So what are the two different approaches of online course? MOOCs and SPOCs. Itna takeaway is enough for first session. We will just learn all the other things in a smaller capsule in the upcoming sessions. Okay. So now let's move on. Presentation. So you need the laptop here, no? Office का laptop है इधर connect करने के. Otherwise you do one thing. Log out of mine and just sir को connect कर दो. बाद में मिलेगा. Okay. So we are just yes. Any questions?
Yes. Ma'am, for a MOOC, can anyone develop a course and put it online or?
Each
There are-
system has a different systems. For example, in SWAYAM, the courses are run by 10 national coordinators. SWAYAM has decided 10 coordinators for each level. Like UGC will offer UG and PG course. IIT Chennai, like who is running the NPTEL, will offer only engineering courses. IIMs will offer the management courses like that. They are divided and they will run the course. If any university is wanted to, they have to apply to that national coordinator, then they have a process. For example, in Diksha, the states, every organization, like the boards have a space. So now NCRT can run a course there, like for example, CBSE can run courses. Now, who will prepare course for CBSE? Some of the other people, they will ask to create the course and they will put it. So there will be a process for approval for the courses. So now KVS, when you are going to create, it's not that XYZ can prepare and run a course on these platforms, right? So there we need the process of like committees are there to approve your topic. So we'll be discussing the process also, like where afterwards we'll say what is there very specific to KVS. But there are portals where you can also run your own courses. Like there are some, but who will join your course is a question. Because on what authority you will give them certificate as an individual running a course. But